in the new Sub Paragon solo Elite Bloonarius. And the new Sub Paragon has been out for about a week so far, and I do have some thoughts on it. So first off, we're playing on Sulphur Springs, which is a new map which came out with the update. And this map, Ninja Kiwi said that it was made specifically for boss events. So I wanted to check it out, and I also didn't want to do it on like a beginner map or something like that. And at the same time, you know, while we're at it, let's just beat all of the tiers of Elite Bloonarius with the sub. So I'm talking tier 1, tier 2, and then we usually go with the Paragon starting from tier 3, but let's just do it with subs all the way out, right? So Sub Paragon has been out for a while now, and I feel like not that people have, you know, negative thoughts about it, but I might have seen some dividing opinions on this and how good it is, because I think the majority of the controversy is from the ability, which has a 15-second countdown before it gets launched. And while the ability is strong, the question is, well, it's the fact that the sub doesn't attack. The Paragon itself stops its attacking and starts channeling, you know, this cooldown spell. So this countdown spell. And so the question is that worth it? In terms of, is it worth using the ability while you're missing out on the DPS? And by the way, look at this thing. I mentioned something about the map being perfect for bosses, and you can actually place, I think it's the maximum is like 11 or 12 farms, and almost all of them are going to be under a Monkeyopolis village if you want to sacrifice them. But this specific portion of the map has been made specifically for farming. That's why this is a boss map. And another thing about the Sub Paragon is the buff that it gives. And I think that it's probably not bad, but it's like a really interesting thing that I wanted to mention. And it's that they recently, I think it was just like last update or the update before that, they introduced this monkey knowledge point, which is called Paragons of Power, which basically means that if you don't have another tier 5 of the same tower like the Paragon is, then the Paragon is going to attack about, I think it was about 20% faster. So what it basically means is that if I buy the Sub Paragon, and if I don't buy any of the other tier 5s, then the Sub Paragon is going to attack 20% faster. But the problem is that the Sub Paragon buffs all the subs. And so if you buy the Sub Paragon, you would want to buy this thing, the Sub Commander, right? Because it also buffs the other subs. And so it kind of doesn't make sense, because if you buy the Sub Commander, you're going to lose the Paragons of Power Monkey Knowledge buff. But then if you don't, then I guess you're supposed to do it with just like 4 tier subs, which was, it was like an interesting thing to me, because they recently added that Monkey Knowledge point. It's not like it was there all the time. So let me sell a couple of these. Hopefully I don't have to sell too many. That's 3 left, and let's get the Sub Commander and see if this is gonna be enough. I'm not sure if it's gonna be enough, but I hope it is. Oh, you know what we could do, actually? Let me tell you guys what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna give the Jury's Fire to the Dart, and now this should be fine, right? We're at 48 lives. Please don't leak anymore. Oh no! Wait, what is happening? Is that a skull? Is that an actual skull leaking? I think it is. Okay, so the problem that we're having is that the sub is getting distracted by these small balloons, these pings, and it keeps attacking them because it's on first. But if I set it on strong, then it's going to target Bloonarius, so you can't win. There's no way to win with this thing. So the sub is actually a terrible choice versus Bloonarius. Okay, so we're going for the Pirate Lord, and just before the Skull Pops, because I don't want to break up the farms that soon. Oh, that's a lot of money that we made on 43. So let's sell them now. And this is 26, so yeah, that's just about, it's about the exact same amount of money that we sold for the Sub Commander as well. And oh my god, this is a lot tougher than I thought it was gonna be. Come on, dude. Let me just get ready with a Maelstrom. I feel like we might want to have, yeah, let's use a Maelstrom. Let's just wipe these guys, and there's one more skull left, and I'm gonna Maelstrom the last one as well, and that's gonna be fine. But yeah, this is, guys, this is not the start that I was hoping for. So let's Maelstrom these guys. That's gonna be the last one. And yeah, I feel like we have this, right? Okay, so I sold the Pirate Lord. I'm only defending with a 204 sub. This is under a 401 Alchemist. And then we have the Enhanced Eyesight, so it gives us vision. And then I bought a 420 farm. And so I'm going to overclock this thing. And I feel like I might want to try a little bit harder for this one, because I got caught off guard for the tier 1. And I want that to happen for the tier 2. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing. Just 420 farms into overclocks. And I'm going to see you guys in a second. These Bloonarius spawns, man, they're just so annoying. So let's give this guy the Jury's Fire, and I feel like, yeah, the next thing is just gonna be the Mad. So let's just start thinking about getting a Mad like this. We are making, you know, some amount of money after that debacle on the tier 1. That was a disaster on the tier 1, but it's fine. I think we're still in this. We bought a bunch of small farms, so we can sell these guys, and then we can put all the money into the Mad, so it's gonna be fine. Okay, so I'm breaking out my farms right now. I sold, yeah, let's sell everything, and let's get the Mad finally. And I think that I'm probably gonna need to micro the Mad, honestly. So let's move it like this, and then it's all on the Energizer sub, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I know that this thing spawns BFB, so we deal with the BFBs and the leftovers with the mat, and then hopefully the Energizer picks up. I'm not exactly confident in the Energizer's abilities because I don't use it as often. You're not gonna believe this, but I would normally do this with the Glaive Lord because it's not a good tower, but it does the job for things like these. Like for example, the tier 2. But I feel like the Energizer might be enough. It seems to be enough so far, so I'm not complaining. Okay, I mean, the Energizer is doing its job, it seems like. The DPS is enough versus these small balloons, as long as I focus down the mob class balloons. That's what I noticed. So we have to kind of bring them down to ceramics, and then it eats them up. So this is going to be the last call, and let me just... Am I upgrading this thing? I think I'm not, actually. Let's just chill and then save the money from the mat and this and just put it into a banana central. I think that's going to be fine. Okay, so this is the tier 3, and we are missing about 200,000, but the good... It's actually a bit less than 200,000. The good thing is that we're making a lot of money. I mean, this is... Look at this thing. Come on, guys. This is probably the perfect placement. And this is exactly how Ninja Kiwi envisioned this when they made the map. I mean, it's just perfect. 4 farms down, 3 here with the village, and then everything is... I think that every single farm... Let me just check. Yep, every single farm is inside of the range of a Monkey City village. And then if you want, you can buy a Monkeyopolis in one of these guys. And then you can just have even more farms and make even more money like that. So it is just, this is exactly how they planned it. And here we go. We have the money for this thing. So let me buy just a degree 0, degree 1. I'm not going to touch anything. And, well, it's a degree 5. Okay, so we had some pops. That's completely fine. So let's see how this thing is gonna go. We're not gonna get the ability, but that's fine because I don't want to use the ability. We are only defending with this thing, and it seems to be slapping Bloonarius. Yeah. Oh wow, that's a decent amount of damage. I mean, you wouldn't expect like. Let's say, I'm thinking about the Dark Paragon, like you wouldn't expect the Dark Paragon to perform this good, right? The degree 5 Dark Paragon. And now it all comes down to the ability. So we have to think about the ability. We have to probably buy it a little bit earlier so that we can... What just happened? What are we leaking? Wait, we have this guy as a spotter, so why is this thing leaking balloons? I don't understand. Maybe we submerge it so we catch some ceramic leaks? How much damage does submerge do? Not enough. We're gonna leak again. So they're on first, by the way, so they should be targeting these ceramics that are coming out, but it's... Like, the way that the darts are coming out, they're just focusing some other balloons. They're not going on first because it has a pierce issue, it seems like. Oh, no. I mean, can I patch things up with just a quick Glaive Lord? Hopefully the DPS is enough, 35 lives. I think we barely got this. But there goes the tier 3. I mean, I didn't like what I saw there, I'm gonna be honest, but let me sell this thing and let's go back to defending with the Sub Commander and with the... I think I'm just gonna buy these other ones, like just the Submerged and just buy the 50 or just why not. We have a bunch of money, so the money is not an issue anymore. It is just, we also have Geraldo's level 20, so let's kind of have a... what's the degree that we want to test for? So we beat it. That's the most important thing, that we did actually beat it, but it needed a level of help. So what's the degree that we want to do for the tier 4 is my question. Okay, so this is around 99, tier 4 is about to come out, and I kind of asked myself, what would I normally do in this situation? What's like a realistic scenario? So what I did was, I bought a bunch of 420 subs so that we can get the bonus from the upgrades. And then I think that I'm just gonna put like a couple 100,000 in this. Like if you were playing a normal game, you wouldn't want to spend all your money onto this thing, right? So you would just put like a couple 100k, and then you want to save the money so that you can invest more money into a tier 5. So I think that 200,000 should be a realistic number plus all of these upgrades. And let's see what's the degree that we're gonna get, and let's see if that's gonna be enough. Yeah, 38. The 38 seems absolutely realistic to me. I mean, come on, dude. This seems very underwhelming. I just spent a lot of money into this thing, so I don't know. I mean, the damage, I guess, versus the boss is... It's gonna deal with the bots, but I have an issue with these leftovers. So maybe, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be too harsh on this. Maybe we should say something like, this is Bloonarius, and Bloonarius spawns small balloons, so you have to be ready for the spawn, so you probably need more damage sources than one. So maybe it's unrealistic to expect that one single damage source is going to be able to take care of everything. We are gonna get the rocket, and so this is the problem with the missile. And I'm actually gonna use the missile, but before I do that, I kind of want to protect myself because this thing is gonna stop attacking, and we're gonna need to protect ourselves. So maybe, you know what we can do? Oh, let's do this actually. Let's buy a bunch of these slows and these stuns so we can keep the balloons in place. And let me refresh the thing. And so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to use the Sabo. I'm going to use the launch. I'm going to use the final strike ability, and I'm going to freeze everything. Then let's regenerate potion so we get all our abilities back. And then let's wait for this thing. So Bloonarius is about 2.5 million HP remaining. I'm gonna... The missile is there, and So it went from about 2.5 million, but there's gonna be some radioactive DPS on the ground, which is gonna do a lot of damage as well. Oh yeah, that's where oh my god, that's where the damage is coming from. It's the radioactive thing plus the missile. So the missile seems to have done a lot of damage actually. Alright guys, so round 117 just ended, and this is the perfect time to start buying this thing because the final strike ability is on a huge cooldown, so we want to get the cooldown going so that we actually have it for the tier 5. So I'm just going to sell all of these towers and I'm just going to buy this thing. I'm going to put all of the money that we have. We bought a bunch of, not all, let's just put it, let's just like leave something for ourselves. So maybe we spend, how much, that's going to leave us with about 40k, so I'm happy with that. We bought all of the upgrades, we bought a bunch of 420 subs, we're spending all the money that we have. And let's see what's the degree we're gonna get. I think it was in the 70s actually, if I saw correctly. Yeah, 77. Oh, that's an amazing degree. I mean, listen, 77 is a huge degree, especially for a boss fight. Okay, so this thing is going well. We do have the final strike ability, but I did want to show you guys one thing before we use it, and that is the Paragon of Power Monkey Knowledge thingy. So while this thing is active and while we don't have another tier 5 sub, the Sub Paragon itself is attacking about 20% faster. But if I buy this thing, if I buy the Sub Commander, which by the way buffs all of the other subs, then the Paragon now no longer has the extra 20% attack speed from the Monkey Knowledge, which I think it's just ridiculous. But I'm going to sell the Sub Commander because it's way more valuable to have the Sub Paragon have that extra attack speed, and it's time, guys. So I'm going to use the ability, and let's just use it when, I think when he drops it like 21 million HP. So let's just watch this thing and I'm going to use it. And we have all of the stuns and everything like that. So let's use it now. Oh, I timed that really nice actually. So 21 million HP. I don't think that a lot of other stuff is doing damage. And the countdown is at 8, 7. The rockets got launched. So 21 million HP. And let's see how much it's going to be left. So you guys are going to land on top of it. And it's about a million, but there's this radioactive thingy that is on the ground, and is it helping pop these bats? I don't think it is. I feel like when you combine the damage from the radioactive thingy plus while the Sub Paragon is attacking, I think it's actually a decent amount of damage. Can we get another? Can we get it the second time? I don't think that we can. I'm just gonna refer these abilities just in case. But I think that the cooldown is just so long that there's no way that you get them. Does the Energizer sub work on the sub? It shouldn't, right? There's no way it does. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, so that's not the last skull, but we need to deal with these guys, and they are about to go out. And I think the sub is attacking these guys, but it's barely attacked. So as soon as the bats pop, we can keep these all these other balloons in place. But I'm gonna freeze them just in case, and I'm going to. Oh my god, this is ridiculously close. We do have another final strike. Okay, so let's do it like this. Let's rejuv. Let's use the final strike. We are at 7.7 million HP. There's nothing coming out. This is perfect. This is amazing. Okay. And so let's watch the damage. Okay, this missile seemed to be a little bit stronger than the last one, no? That's a lot of damage that it did. But is it going to beat it? I don't know. This is going to be super critical towards the end. Do we have another rejuv? No, we don't. Oh, how do I stop these guys? I think we just spray, honestly. There's nothing to be done, guys. Unless the Bloon Crush holds these guys. I mean, maybe we buy a Cope Super Glue. Let's buy a Cope Super Glue and let's give this thing camo at the end. And I really hope that this holds on. 500,000 HP. Well, let's freeze. We got the absolute 0. And there we go. That's fine. We win. I mean, come on, guys. That was way too close. So let's just quickly check the pops on this thing. It's at 50 million. Okay, so that's kind of expected, right? Because Bloonarius has like 40 million HP and then the leftovers get popped and whatnot. But you know, this is I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. It's kind of, I have some mixed feelings about it. It does nice damage. It's like a nice Paragon overall, but at the same time, I'm not sure if this is gonna be like the mainstream Paragon, especially because you just lose a bunch of its attack damage while the ability is channeling. So you know, one of the thoughts that I had was maybe like reduce the countdown from like 15 to 10 seconds or maybe even less than that. But I don't know. So far, I'm not sure how to feel about this Paragon. It's nice for sure, and the concept is interesting, but we're gonna have to see how this goes into the future. But that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one.